Okay, in lieu of time, I'm going to get started. Institutions, really experts, these panelists will not be able to see or hear you. So you need to use the Q&A button if you have questions at any time. So please use the Q&A button at the top or bottom of your screen to ask a question at any time throughout this 45-minute session. You can sign up for more sessions in the future. This is the last session for tonight for this particular fair, but there will be more in the future that you can take part in. And a recording of this will be sent to anyone who signed up for this fair or for this session and will be put on our website for you to access. And I will throw that into the chat as well. First up, we have Salle University.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen just so I can get that started. My name is Katie Mert, and I am one of the Assistant Directors of Recruitment here at LaSalle University. I am so thrilled that you're joining us tonight. I have a quick 6 minutes, and I talk pretty fast, so I'm going to go through some information pretty quickly, but I am going to put my contact information up several times throughout this presentation, the first time being right now. So if you want to take a picture of this so you can get in touch with me later, please feel free to do that. I'm very accessible either by phone or email. I also have an admissions dedicated Instagram account. So if that's easy for you to contact me that way, please be my guest. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about LaSalle University, a place that is near and dear to my heart. LaSalle University is located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the city of brotherly love. We are on 133 acres in the city of Philadelphia, which is pretty unusual for a city-based campus that we have so much acreage. We do have tons of green space on campus, and that is something that does make us pretty unique. We are a Catholic university, and we were founded by the Christian Brothers. So being a Catholic university does influence us in the way that we conduct ourselves through the 3 pillars of faith, service, and community. The Christian Brothers, their mission is to teach. The name LaSalle actually comes from Saint John Baptiste de La Salle, who is the patron saint of teachers. So that is something that is really important to us. And again, here's a nice picture of the Philadelphia skyline. You can see that we are the 6th largest city in the nation. Plenty of things to do, lots of opportunity for you as a student and as a person. So a quick LaSalle at a glance, just a little more information on who we are. There's going to be a couple quick facts that are scrolling through here, but just to get a sense of our size, we have about 3,200 full-time undergraduate students here at LaSalle. So we consider ourselves to be pretty mid-size. 100% of our classes here at LaSalle are taught by faculty as well, which is really cool. So none of our classes are taught by graduate students or teaching assistants. You're going to be taught by the experts in the field, our faculty members. We have over 150 student organizations, so we span all different kinds of interests. That also applies to our majors. We have tons of different major programs for you to explore that span everything from healthcare to the sciences to the arts. We have 18 Division I sports. LaSalle is very well known, especially for our Division I basketball team. And we do have some really awesome sports dynasties here at LaSalle. And again, LaSalle University is part of a long heritage with 157 years of experience. So these facts right here are sort of important to give you a sense of the size of LaSalle. Our general student to faculty ratio is about 12-to-1, which means for every 12 students, we have 1 faculty member on campus, and your average class size is only 22 students. So you get a lot of personalized attention in your classes here at LaSalle. So you really don't get lost in the shuffle. It's very much a community-based school. Our female to male ratio is about 60-40, so pretty close to an even split. And student life at LaSalle is going to be a huge part of your experience. In the city, being a part of LaSalle's campus is so much to do, whether you're on campus in one of our student organizations or you're exploring Philadelphia for things like internships, job opportunities, all of the cool things that being in a city has to offer you. That's really part of being a LaSalle student, is finding yourself, growing yourself in education, but also getting involved outside of the classroom to meet new people. And again, coming back to that faith, service, and community, the 3 pillars of a LaSallian education, those tend to really take up a lot of time for our students in your extracurriculars. So whether you're donating your time to the community in service to your community or finding things that you're really passionate about and giving back, That's really a hallmark of a LaSallian student. Of course, we do have residence life at LaSalle University. We're a little unique in that we require on-campus housing for the first 3 years of your time at LaSalle. So you are required to live on campus for your first 3 years. Housing is guaranteed for all 4 years. So if you want to stay on campus for all 4 years, you are more than welcome and we'd love to have you. But it is not required past the first 3 years. The reason for this is because we find that students live on campus are more engaged in the whole college process, and that's very important. So I'm coming close on time here. And so I want to talk a little bit about the application process, because this is kind of the meat and potatoes of what you need to know if you want to become a LaSalle student. So our application is completely free. You can find that right online on our website through the Common application or the Coalition application. So whatever way is easiest for you, that's going to work well for us too. And again, it is totally free to apply. So no application fee whatsoever. We ask you for, of course, your official high school transcripts. So you're going to need to submit those as a part of your application, as well as an essay or a personal statement and 2 letters of recommendation. Your official test results for the SAT or the ACT are optional. LaSalle is completely test optional for all of our major programs this year. So you are not required to submit test scores, only if you want to. If you don't submit your test scores, and there's a little bit more information that we want from you in order to get to know you as a student, because we do review you as a whole student, a whole applicant, and not just a number, we may ask you to do a little Zoom interview just to help us get to know you a little bit better. I do want to touch on some scholarships at LaSalle as well. We offer several different scholarships in varying ranges. The Founder Scholarship is one of the most popular scholarships that's based on your academic merit, and it ranges anywhere from $5,000 to $18,000 per year. We also have a Community Service Scholarship, again, going back to that faith, service, and community. That is a huge part of being a LaSalle student. We have the Christian Brothers Scholarship, which is a full tuition scholarship. So that is absolutely worth your time if you're interested in becoming a LaSalle student. We also have scholarships for students in athletics, of course, being a Division I school, and the Legacy Scholarship. So if you have anybody in your family who was a LaSalle student, you could be eligible for that Legacy Scholarship automatically. This is the contact information for the Office of Admissions. So the Office of Admissions, I'm one of many. So even though I'm one of the assistant directors of recruitment, I do not do this alone. I have lots of people in my corner that help facilitate the entire application and admissions process here at LaSalle. So please feel free to get in touch with us at any time. We are doing on-campus tours right now. So we have in-person on-campus tours that will be available throughout the summer. I would love for some of you to stop by and come see us. There's tons of great schools in Philadelphia, and I would love to be on your roster of schools to visit. And again, here is my contact information. If you want to take one more picture of that, I'm going to be in the chat for the rest of the presentation tonight. So if you have questions for me, please feel free to pop them in the chat so that we can talk a little bit more. But again, my name is Katie Mert. It's been a pleasure chatting with you tonight. I hope to see you at LaSalle sometime over the summer. Please stay healthy and safe, and enjoy the rest of your school year and your summer, and have a wonderful senior year. I hope to talk to you in the fall when it's time to apply. Thank you so much, everybody.
All right, thank you. And next up, we have Molloy College.
Hello, everyone. My name is Danielle. I'm an admissions counselor at Molloy College. I'm just going to share my screen really quickly. So Molloy College is a medium-sized liberal arts college in Rockville Center, New York. So you have access to Long Island's famous parks and beaches, as well as close proximity to Manhattan. We have about 5,000 students on campus, and we really focus on a 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio. These small class sizes really allow our students to get to know their professors and to have opportunities for research, internships, and jobs that come organically. So a great example of this is, say you're really interested in emergency labor and delivery, and your professor knows that and just happens to come upon their colleague who is working on research in emergency labor and delivery. So your professor sends you a quick email saying, would you like to be a part of this research project? And now you have a great research project you can put on your resume that you're passionate about, and that will make you stand out to future employers, as well as if you're looking to apply to graduate schools after graduation. So you have this opportunity to have these strong relationships with your faculty, and you're definitely not just a number in a large lecture hall. We are the #1 nursing program in the country, so we really prepare our students with NCLEX preparation. We have a first-time pass rate of about 92%. We have great clinical work, hands-on education, very realistic simulations in the labs. We also have dual degree programs in education and business, so you could get your bachelor's degree and your master's degree in just 5 years. We have one of the highest CPA pass rates. Our criminal justice program ranks in the top 5%, and we have one of the most affordable private tuitions of private colleges on Long Island. We have over 50 high quality undergraduate programs, anything from music therapy to respiratory care to nuclear medicine technology. And we have an honors program as well as pre-professional programs, which is great for any of you students who are looking to go to med school after you graduate, PA programs, PT programs, and OT programs, even pre-law. And basically what those programs allow you to do is have a separate advisor who ensures you're taking the courses you need to apply to the programs of your choice after you graduate from Molloy. We also have great opportunities for internships, a career center that really helps students to perfect their resumes and personal statements, and even hosts mock interviews so you can get a sense of what it would be like to be interviewed. We have great study abroad opportunities as well, and freshman learning communities where you're grouped based on your interests. And that's a great way for students to really get to know each other in their freshman year. So these are just some of our majors at Molloy College. And we also have tutoring services, a writing center, and we have just an array of resources for students. I think what's great about the size of Molloy is that you do get that personal touch and people are always willing and able to help you. We also have a great residence life. We have residence halls on campus with 24/7 security, free laundry, cable and fitness, common rooms and practice rooms. And we have very involved students on campus. We have over 50 student-run clubs and organizations. Whether you're a commuter student or you are a student who lives on campus, our students are very involved. We have a vibrant campus life that involves really campus-wide events. And one of the favorites is Maroon Madness, which happens every year around basketball season. So they introduce the men's and women's basketball teams. It's a giant pep rally. There's games and prizes, and it's just a way for everyone to really get together for the start of that season. We have 17 varsity sports, including esports. So if you're interested in playing League of Legends or Fortnite competitively, you actually can, and you can get money from Molloy for that. And we have club sports as well in cheerleading, dance team, and equestrian. So back to what I was saying about our clubs and organizations, we also have opportunities for students to really explore their interest in service and giving back to their communities. That's a huge part of Molloy's mission, is giving back. And so we really do take that seriously. And in order to apply to Molloy, you would fill out either a common application or our own online app. And you would also send in a personal essay and your final high school transcript. We are test optional for the fall of 2022. So if you're a junior right now, you won't have to send in an SAT or ACT scores, but you are welcome to send them in if you feel that it really would make you stand out. And we are rolling admissions, so we don't actually have any deadlines, but if you want to be considered for full tuition scholarship, you would definitely want to apply by December 15th. Our tuition is $31,000 per year, and 92% of our freshmen receive some form of financial aid. And we also have a large variety of scholarships. All students are automatically reviewed for scholarship for their academics, so you wouldn't have to apply for any of those. You would just automatically be awarded those. And we also have scholarships based on your particular interests. So say you are definitely someone who started a club, or you're in student government, or you took on a leadership role in your community in some way, you could apply for our leadership scholarship and receive money from that. We also have a community service scholarship for students involved in giving back and to causes that they're passionate about, as well as a mission scholarship for students involved in faith, or maybe they led retreats before. And also a student media scholars scholarship for students who have been involved in media in any way. So whether you like photography, you like social media, you like writing, you can actually apply for that, and you could get money for doing Molloy's social media, which is actually really, really a fun experience for our students. So if you have any questions, you can definitely reach out to me directly. I'll put my specific direct email address and phone number in the chat, but you can also reach out to us at admissions@molloy.edu, and 516-323-4000 is our phone number. Thank you guys for having me, and definitely feel free to reach out to me with any further questions you might have. I know it's a crazy time, but we're always here to help. So I will put my information in the chat as soon as possible.
All right, thank you so much. Next up, we have University of Albany.
Thanks so much, Christy. Hi, everyone. My name is Danielle Haft. I am an undergraduate admissions counselor here at the University of Albany. So just to get started and talk to you a little bit more about UAlbany, we are part of the SUNY system. SUNY is the system of public higher education within New York State, and it's actually also the largest in the country. Along with some of my other colleagues here tonight within the SUNY system, we are made up of 64 campuses within SUNY, and the University at Albany is considered one of the 4 research universities within the system. So being that we are part of the SUNY system and one of the 4 research universities, that does tend to make us a little bit larger. We have about 13,000 undergraduate students and about 4,000 graduate students. So in terms of our size, I also was a student myself here at UAlbany for undergrad and grad. And whenever I'm talking to students about the size, I like to say it's kind of a perfect mix depending on where they're coming from high school. We do have a lot of different opportunities for students to get involved in smaller communities. But again, as I mentioned, it's kind of that perfect mix of both. You are going to be seeing students on campus who you do know, as well as students that you don't. So again, really good mix of both in terms of our size. And I'll also talk about our location in just a bit as well. So as I mentioned, a research university means that we do prioritize research in a lot of our academic disciplines and majors. We have about 50 undergraduate majors and about 70 undergraduate minors, and that number is continuously growing each year. I want to bring your attention to this slide, which is an aerial view of our campus here at UAlbany. As you can see in the middle of your screen, there is a large concrete structure, which is our academic podium. That's where most of our classes are held for students. We also do have 2 other campuses downtown in the Albany area, as well as one located in Rensselaer. However, as I mentioned, most of our classes for undergraduate students and graduate students happen on the Uptown campus. A lot of students are excited about the fact that their classes are within walking distance of the dorms and the residence halls, which are located just at the corners of the academic podium as well. Just a fun fact also about the University of Albany, we do have 3 fountains located on our campus. So our main fountain in the middle is very popular for our students. It just adds a nice aesthetic feel to the University of Albany, especially during the spring and summer months as well. Now, here's just a comprehensive list of our academic programs. As I mentioned, we have about 50 undergraduate majors and about 70 undergraduate minors, and we are broken down into 9 schools and colleges across the university. If you have a specific question or a specific interest about one of our programs, I highly encourage you to use the Q&A feature, or otherwise I will provide my contact information at the end of this presentation as well. Just to briefly discuss some of our academic programs, our College of Arts and Sciences is our largest college here at UAlbany. Some of our most popular majors within this college include biology, sociology, psychology. However, some of our most unique majors within this college includes atmospheric and environmental science as well. Our atmospheric and environmental science programs work very closely with the New York State Mesonet and Weather Service, and some of our students actually have internships in both of those with both of those organizations, and some students also work for local newscasting services and meteorology companies as well. So really exciting stuff here that we have to offer here at UAlbany. Just to highlight some of our other programs, our College of Emergency Preparedness, Homeland Security, and Cybersecurity is one of our newer colleges and very unique of its kind. There is a drone lab as well as a makerspace in their college. And so they do have the ability for students to get on a lot of hands-on opportunities as well. Again, just to kind of breeze through some of the other programs that we have here, our Rockefeller College of Public Affairs and Policy is a great program for students that are interested in political science and public policy, as we do have really great relationships with the New York State Senate and Assembly. And lastly, just to mention, our School of Business and School of Criminal Justice are top ranked programs in the country. Our School of Business is dual accredited through an AACSB accreditation in both accounting and business administration. And our School of Criminal Justice is ranked number 3 in the country out of 400 other programs as well. As I mentioned, I know that was a lot of information about our academic program. So if you have a specific question, feel free to let us know and we'd be happy to address that as well. Now, just to talk a little bit more about the application process in our short time today, we accept either the common application or the SUNY application here at UAlbany, and we don't have a preference. Typically, the common application is a bit more inclusive, whereas the SUNY application is just for SUNY schools. Again, we don't have a preference, it's just what works best for you. Now, in terms of our GPA, this is a mid-range, and I do want to emphasize that this was the mid-50th percentile of students that were accepted here at UAlbany. There are 25% of students that were below this range, as well as 25% of students that were above this range. Here at UAlbany, we do take a holistic review at a student's application, so we are taking into account a number of things. Now, it is important to also talk about our current testing policy. So we, among some of the other SUNY schools as well, are test optional through spring 2022. For any juniors that are looking to apply for fall 2022, however, at this point in time, we're not too sure about what that test optional policy is going to look like. We just have to wait a couple more weeks for SUNY to be able to authorize us to either go test optional or not. I've been indicating to students that if there is a convenient opportunity for them to take the test, that they should recommend doing so. But again, we'll have more clarity about that in the next couple weeks. So again, I want to thank you all so much for your time. I do also want to let you know that currently we are open for in-person tours, as some of my colleagues at other institutions have mentioned. So if you would like to take an in-person tour of UAlbany, we will have summer availability coming up shortly. So again, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight, and I hope you have a good night.
Thank you. Next up, we have Albany College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences.
Hi there. Thank you so much for the introduction, Christy. I'm just going to get my screen shared, so give me just one moment. Well, again, hi, everyone. My name is Patty Say, and I am the Assistant Director of Admission here at Albany College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. And tonight, I'm just going to give you a brief overview of our campus, things like student life and housing and whatnot, and go into a little bit of detail about our academic programs. So just to start off, I do want to give credit to our amazing team of admissions staff and our admissions counselors. For the most part, you guys who are interested in applying with us will more than likely be working with myself. I work with all of our incoming students from Brooklyn, Queens, and the Long Island area. And something that I'm going to touch on briefly here in a minute is our opportunity for our joint degree programs. So if any of you guys are going to be applying to those, you will be working also very closely with Kelly Whitelaw. So I will put both of our contact information in the chat as I wrap up here in a little bit. And then we can connect later again if you guys have any more questions. But just to start off about our location, obviously we are located in Albany, the capital region. We're located right downtown across from Albany Med. Something that I'll share with you guys a bit about our academic programs is all of our degrees are very health science focused. So we're actually right across the street from Albany Medical Center, where a lot of our students do a lot of undergraduate work and research and internships, and just getting really involved as they prepare their resumes, more than likely to apply into medical school and pharmacy school, PA school, and things of that nature. But something that I do like to also point out is our students really like to take advantage of just the amazing opportunity in surrounding areas as well. We do have student organizations that will take you guys on trips and whatnot around the area. So again, here are just some photos of things that our students like to do around our campus. Something else that I like to touch on, especially considering Albany being the capital of the state, is our public health program is really involved with a lot of policymaking in the capital, and our pharmacy program gets really involved with that as well. So that's just something that I think that's really unique about us. If any of you guys are interested in the public health field, you guys can get a lot of hands-on experience really early on. And that's something that's been really beneficial, obviously considering what's been happening the last year with COVID, as our students have had a lot of really good exposure with working in the State Department over the last year. But to just touch on our programs a little bit, here are the programs that we offer. Again, as I mentioned, they are all very health sciences focused. We have our degree in biomedical technology, clinical laboratory sciences, microbiology, pharmaceutical sciences, public health, and then our pharmacy program, which is a 6-year program. So that means that you would be coming to us for 2 years. And then if you meet the early assurance requirements, you do get your seat saved and a direct entry into our Doctor of Pharmacy program. So something that is very important that I like to point out to students is if you guys are interested in applying into any of our early assurance programs, is we encourage you to apply very early on because that process is a little lengthy, but we do have several options for you guys to get involved with applying into medical school early for early acceptance, dental school, PA school, law school, whatever it may be. We can definitely help you get there, and just something to consider, obviously considering that we have these early assurance programs. And then switching gears to talk about student life, obviously we do, want you to have fun while you're on campus, but we have more than 150 different organizations that you guys can get involved with. All of our first and second year students are required to live on campus in the residence halls, which all have their own bathroom, a kitchenette area. So you'll just be sharing that with one other person, which is super nice. And then again, just on residence life, we have just a photo right here of some of our campus. We do lots of activities around the residence halls and buildings. We'll have concerts for you guys on the weekends. And then just to touch on our application process very briefly, when you guys get ready to apply at the beginning of your senior year, we do require an official high school transcript, a letter of recommendation, hopefully from someone coming from a math or science teacher is what we definitely like to see. For the upcoming year, we have officially decided that we will be waiving the SAT and ACT requirement. But if for whatever reason you do have that score handy, we will definitely take that. And then the last thing that we do require is we have something called a Discover Your Potential and Planning meeting. So essentially it serves as a sit-down conversation with someone in our admission office just to map out your plans for the future. But something in addition to our admissions process that I like to point out as you guys get ready to make your senior year schedules is we require all of our incoming students to have completed and passed pre-calculus and chemistry, because your first semester with us, all of our incoming students do take calculus. And that is about it. As we move forward through the night, I will put my information in the chat. If any of you guys do have questions moving forward, you can feel free to reach out to me at any time. But as of right now, we do have availability for campus tours. We've just gotten the okay to open up more for the summer. So you guys can get something scheduled and hopefully get on campus with us soon. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have Buffalo State College.
You might be on mute there, Philomena.
Oh, sorry, I thought I pressed it. Hi, everyone. My name is Philomena. I'm an admissions advisor at Buffalo State College. I'm also an alumni at Buffalo State. So when I talk about the experiences at Buffalo State, I'm talking personally as well. So Buffalo State is a university college, and a university college is just the colleges that provide bachelor's and master's degree in liberal arts and sciences and professional discipline. We are part of the SUNY system along with 64 other different campuses. SUNY stands for the State University of New York, and that is the largest comprehensive public university system. We are located in Buffalo, New York, which is the second largest city in New York State. We are located in the heart of the city of Buffalo. So we are located on Elmwood Avenue, one of the most popular streets in Buffalo. So when you walk off campus, you have different restaurants, you have boutiques, coffee shops. There is a ton to choose from. There's always events happening on Elmwood Avenue, including art festivals. If anything is going on in the city of Buffalo, it's happening on Elmwood Avenue. So our students really get that chance to be right in the heart of everything. We have 7,400 undergraduate students. So we are considered a medium-sized school. When you add grad students to that, it's around 9,000. So you really get that chance to really meet almost everyone on campus. You get the chance to really connect with your faculty members and other staff members on campus as well. We have 79 undergraduate majors, so a ton to choose from. We are very well known for our education major, but no matter what major you choose at Buffalo State, you're going to get a great education and a great degree from that. We have a 15-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So for every 15 students, there's one faculty member. Again, you really get to connect with these faculty members. You're not just a number at Buffalo State. The faculty members truly care about your success. And all of the faculty members that are teaching in the classrooms have actually been in the field. So they are bringing that experience that they actually worked in the field and bringing that to the classroom as well. 18% of our students receive financial aid. So we have FAFSA, which is free application for federal student aid. We have TAP, which is tuition assistance program. That's for students in New York State. We have the Excelsior Scholarship along with that as well, which is new in New York State for New York State students, and also CAPS scholarships. So once you get accepted to Buffalo State, you could go to our website and see hundreds of different scholarships that you could apply for. We also offer merit-based scholarships. So if you are eligible for those, you don't have to apply separately. When you apply to Buffalo State, we look at your application to see if you're eligible for those. We have hands-on learning opportunities. So when you come to college, out of the classroom experiences are just as important as in the classroom experiences. And that's undergraduate research. We have community engagement, which involves volunteering opportunities, and also internships. So we have an internship center on campus. We have jobs and internship fairs when you come to Buffalo State. And you could also ask your professors as well for any internships. We have 100+ clubs and organizations, which includes cultural clubs, academic clubs, student services, Greek life, student government, social clubs, media clubs. So if you are interested in getting involved on campus, which I highly recommend, you can go through any of these 100 clubs and organizations. And if you don't see a club that you're interested in, you can make your own club. We also have a Division III for athletics. So for men's, we have, for example, basketball, cross country, football, ice hockey, swimming, indoor track and fields. For women's, we have basketball, cheerleading, cross country, ice hockey, lacrosse, soccer, swimming, soccer, volleyball, for example. Now, this is a kind of overview of everything that we offer at Buffalo State. There's a ton of events that we have. There's always something to do. So we do require that your first 2 years, if you live 35 miles from campus, you will be required to live on campus. So we offer free on-site laundry, Wi-Fi in all the buildings, and study and lounge areas. We require around a GPA of 84, so it could be a little higher, could be a little lower, SAT of 970 or ACT of 21. So again, like someone else also mentioned, for SUNY Albany, we are test optional until spring 2022. This may change depending on what SUNY wants to do. We are continuing to use a holistic review. So we'll look at your academic achievements, non-academic achievements. If you have AP credits, IB credits, we will look at those if you decide to not have your SAT scores evaluated, and you could apply through the SUNY or Common application when you apply to Buffalo State. So some ways to stay in touch for us. You can always email us, call us. You could go to our visit website, which I will be putting in the chat, and that offers virtual campus tours. We have virtual one-on-one appointments with advisors. We have information sessions that go over everything at Buffalo State. So there's a ton of virtual opportunities that you could do. I'll be putting the link in the chat, but I will also put my information as well. So if you have absolutely any questions, feel free to email me and I will be more than happy to answer those for you. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have Binghamton University.
Hello, everybody. I'm Craig Broccoli with Binghamton University, also part of the State University of New York, if you did not know that. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm actually the Associate Director of Admission, but I'm based in the New York City area. So typically I'd see you all on a more local basis, but we're going to zoom up to Binghamton, which is halfway to the way to Buffalo. We're about 3 hours outside of New York City. It's a 14,000 student campus, mid-sized public research university, 900-acre campus as well. So fairly big. You're seeing most of it here, even the rolling hills in the background. And I'm just going to play a quick little aerial tour. So I spent my time as an undergrad in our engineering college at Binghamton and then business for graduate school. I love speaking about Binghamton, but on the admissions front, I mean, I want you to find the right fit. So here's campus. Here's your typical day in the life as a student, walking between classes, the different cafes, the university art museums, the student union, which is the hub of student life. There's nearly 450 clubs and organizations that truly reflect the diversity of the student body there, but it's Binghamton, we're a public in New York, so diversity is well built into that. My favorite thing about Binghamton is our residential communities. So these are little, essentially villages, they're called colleges. You live within a community. This is Mountain View College, where I lived for my first couple years. College in the Woods, where I lived as my junior and senior year. Each of these, they have their own themes, their own traditions, their own dining halls, their own competitions and spirit between the buildings there, and a lot of pride associated with the community you live in, but they're all interconnected. Plus, we're in upstate New York. There's a 200-acre nature reserve right on campus. Great place to relax, go for a run, do research, check out the wildlife. And right down the road is this city of Binghamton, 50,000 person city. It's a small city, but it's built around the university. Art galleries, cafes, the student nightlife is there as well. A lot of new additions though. We have a $250 million smart energy research center that opened up, particularly around energy research and healthcare research, two areas this world needs a lot of help in. One of our professors actually just won the Nobel Prize for inventing the lithium-ion battery. A lot of research around energy storage. Now, the core though, everything that Binghamton does is built around the Harper College core. That's our liberal arts core. All of our students are going to have that as a backbone to their degree. This gives you a lot of versatility in the future. You might have a deep interest in the performing arts or the fine arts. You can certainly do that at Binghamton, whether you're academically doing it or just pursuing it on the side. Research is another big avenue. At the R1 research level, we do a whole lot of research on campus. Now, 21 Division I teams, we're the Binghamton Bearcats. We love the Bearcats. It brings a lot of pride and spirit to our campus. But frankly, I mean, look, this is one of the many things that will be happening on a given weekend or weeknight. This is not the thing that defines student life. Again, there's a lot of clubs and organizations that really spin a lot of opportunities for students. Everybody's living there. There's no commuting to campus. You all are part of campus all throughout your 4 years, even if you want to live on campus. So it's important when the weekends roll on, like we inherit some students from other areas around the upstate New York area. Now, we are inside of that State University of New York, but when you look at New York, there's 90 public colleges and universities, CUNY and SUNY, right? Binghamton academically has the highest standards. We bring in some incredibly bright students from all over the world. We have students from 100 plus countries, all 50 states, certainly some of the best and brightest from New York, though the spirit there is incredibly collaborative. Bright students, but much more on the collaborative front than say a competitive front. Couple other big facts I just want to make clear. We're one of 5 schools in the nation right now with a first-year research program that kickstarts right away. 10 areas of research within the STEM fields, 6 areas of research within the humanities. That's called the SOURCE Project. This opens up a lot of doorways there. Being a part of the SUNY network, there's another big opportunity. There's over 1,000 study abroad programs that you can pick from. Endless, essentially, ideas that you can start pursuing here. The last 2 years in a row, we got the #1 spot in the nation for sustainability research, university-wide. So there's plenty of opportunities there as well. Now, just to break down the choices quickly, there's 130 areas of study, 6 different academic colleges. Many of our students start off undecided, but you can start off right within one of our many colleges here. Harper College is the core of Binghamton, and our pre-med and our pre-law track are located there, which are very popular. We have our Decker College of Nursing and Health Sciences that really are adding in a lot of different degree paths at the graduate level right now. The School of Management, incredibly well known, but our deep connections into New York City sort of help right there. That's where 140,000 alumni, though globally spread, are heavily concentrated in New York. Our School of Pharmacy is a graduate level program, but in an accelerated track. And then our Watson College of Engineering is an incredibly flexible engineering approach here. You can be in engineering, but you also can be pursuing other things to be an engineer plus other ideas. Many different 4+1 degrees where you can get an undergrad and a grad degree in a total of 5 years, plus, of course, the PhD route. So ultimately, look, you're going to have to pick a school that you enjoy, not just simply get into. This is where we try to highlight all of our favorite things about campus. I do really want to stress that residential college feel, although you're at a big R1 research university at the same time. And if you're graduating from New York, you get the benefit of being at a public Ivy in your own home state, right? Tuition wise, it's going to save you in the long run when you talk about maybe going to graduate school. We're an early action school. That means November 1st is when applications are due if you're applying early action, Common App, SUNY app, Coalition app. So pretty open-ended there, but certainly I want you to reach out to myself or my colleagues, zoom in when you can if you have questions or thoughts. So I want to come back to you all live now, and I'll stop sharing and make sure we get through some of the last questions of the night.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Actually, if I could have everyone come back on screen and in the same exact order that we presented, if you could answer, and I'll share my screen briefly here. What advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
Awesome. I would love to get started. So the biggest piece of advice that I give to students who are starting their college search process or are already in it or have already done a couple college visits, visualization is the best exercise in determining what college is the best fit for you. So looking at pictures of the school, and can you imagine yourself walking to class on that campus or sitting on that bench studying or sitting in that classroom, hearing that professor? That is what is really going to help you determine the best fit for you. And I always say that college admissions is not car sales. It's not, you know, I'm not trying to sell you on one particular institution at any cost. I want you to be excited about a school like LaSalle. I want you to feel like you belong here with us. So coming to visit campus, visualizing yourself there, that is what's going to really make you excited and let you know whether or not that that particular school is the best fit for you. So again, we are doing on-person campus tours at LaSalle. I hope you have the chance to come see us and experience it in person, but we have a wonderful virtual tour too to help you kind of get that visualization process started. So visualize yourself on campus, picture yourself there, and that will really help you start to narrow down the type of campuses and environments that are going to be the most conducive to your success as a student. So that's my best piece of advice.
I would say probably, you know, following along the same lines that Katie said, which she said it so perfectly. But I think to make it even more specific, looking into what you think would make you feel most at home. So for some students, that means I want to go explore a completely new city and culture than what I've experienced growing up. So I want to be farther away from home, while other students feel like they'd prefer to be closer to home to have that support of their family. Other students would prefer maybe more of a campus feel because they would like to walk around on campus and say, okay, I know this person, or feel like they're part of something because they know everyone on campus. So a smaller or medium-sized school is probably a better fit for them. Whereas other students would rather come to college and be able to meet someone completely new every day. And that is more, you know, going towards a larger campus feel, I think, is a different experience. Same with, would you prefer a campus or would you prefer more of a city school where you have that hustle and bustle? So I think considering all these different experiences and what you think would make you feel the most welcome, the most at home, but also the most challenged. So it really depends person to person. You know, I think having a sense of community is probably the most key part of that. And when you walk on campus and experience that, I think that is usually what will take the cake.
Yeah, definitely great advice so far. I think my advice would have to be a little bit more towards the application process side of things. You know, I know you'll all be approaching that time soon. Don't approach it and don't be too anxious about it. I know that there's a lot of hype built up about the application process, but take it slow, take it steady. Typically, I tell students to give about 6 to 8 weeks to go through the actual application. You know, go through it once and have a good look at it, see what information you're going to need to gather your materials. The other biggest piece of advice in terms of your personal essay, some schools might require one essay, you know, on the common application, but they might also require a supplemental essay. In terms of that essay, I know it's important to have people in your life read over that essay for grammar and for, just to review it, but don't give that essay to too many people, because I think that once you kind of start to have multiple people review the essay, you lose sight of who you are, and you lose your voice. So I think that's kind of just the biggest piece. Again, I know the application process is long and it can be challenging, but us as admissions counselors, all of us, here that are representing our colleges and universities are here for you. So please do not hesitate to be in touch. We want to hear from you.
I second that.
No, and I absolutely agree with what everyone has said so far. But my piece of advice, and again, I work for Albany College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. And Danielle, I think something you just said was really nice too. All of us on the admission side of things genuinely want to see each and every one of you guys succeed. Obviously, we would love to snag you at our individual universities that we work for, but something that I think, and I hope you all realize, is that your investment in college is an investment in your future. And we know that it's a huge commitment. So please do not be scared to reach out to us, hopefully during normal office hours and office times, but please don't be shy. We're here to help, and we genuinely want to see you all succeed. But something that I do think that I would like to share just in terms of applying to ACPHS throughout your admissions process is I would encourage you to try to connect with the current student on campus if you can. Obviously, our opinions as admission staff is really valuable, but I think if you have the chance to speak with the student too, their perspective is really nice to have as well.
Yes, I totally agree with that. I was going to say the same thing. I know Buffalo State especially, we offer current student panels where you could speak with current students just to kind of get their experience. But again, it's just your experience. Everyone's experience is going to be different. I know personally, one thing that I wish I would have done when I was searching for colleges, I wish I would have done my research. I wish I would have looked at all of my options, went to each campus, talked with each admissions advisors, and kind of got more into the research process, because I think that's huge. And once you step foot onto that campus, you really can tell if you are meant to be there. Ask people around you when you walk onto campus, okay, what's your experience like? I know as a student myself, I've been stopped multiple times while people were on tours and got asked how my experience is as a student myself. So definitely do your research, talk to admissions advisors, go on campus tours, even if they are virtual, that's totally fine. You could just get that feel for campus, talk to current students. So that's definitely something that I would say.
And I'll end real quick with whatever you're doing, virtual, in person, talking to students, every time you're engaging with a university or college, keep asking yourself, what am I going to do on that college campus? What kind of difference am I going to make? Who am I going to be for that campus? Even if you just want to be the follower or the member of a team, or you want to be the leader of a team, either way, put your face and your image and your thoughts into that school, because that's going to help you in the long run when you're dialing down which one you're going to make your best impact at.
Fantastic advice from our experts. The last plug that I give at the beginning and the end is to reach out to these folks. This is what they do. They know their institution in and out, and they know how to talk to you and answer the questions that you might have for them. They're looking to make a good fit for you. So reach out to them. When you leave here, quick 4-question survey. Sign up for more sessions in the future. There will be more, and a recording of this is available. It'll be sent to you and available at StriveScan's website. Thank you so much for being here. Best of luck to our students, to our parents, and thank you again to our experts and our panelists. Have a good night.